Today we're deleting the back seat in a 2023 F350, so stay tuned. Now I know what you're thinking. Why in the world would you delete this nice leather back seat in a brand new truck? Well, this is my work truck, and I'll be building a platform back here, putting a bed in back here, and all that good stuff, getting it all ready for traveling on the road. So we're gonna get going on it. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna lift it up, and we're gonna take out this foldable storage box. Yeah, it's kind of practical for some reasons, but since there's gonna be a platform and there's gonna be storage underneath, I don't need this in there. It's pretty easy to take this out. There are 4 13mm nuts that come out. You just buzz those out, and then this lifts right out of there. Now you're left with the 4 studs, and I like to just put the nuts back on there when I go to put that back in. You'll find the bolt holes underneath the little liner that was in that little tray. Then take the spare tire tools out. We're gonna put those in the toolbox. Get them out of the way for here. Pull out that stud that the spare tire was attached to, or not the spare tire, the spare tire tools. Then you take a 13mm, and we've got to take out a bolt. Let's see. One here, and then we're going to do one here, then one here, and then one back here. If you don't have one of these Ryobi 1/2-inch impacts, you need to get one. Get on board with the Ryobi battery packs. These things are awesome, and they're cost effective. They're not as expensive as all the rest of them, you know, the Milwaukees and things like that, but they do just as good a job, and they last forever and ever. This one is the old one, the blue ones. The new ones are these yellow ones. But this thing's been around for, it's gotta be almost 20 years. Maybe 15 years I've had this thing. It's built several decks, and it just keeps going on and on and on and on. This is an impact screwdriver. I use it for running sockets. I use it for running deck screws and all that. But get yourself some of these Ryobi tools. I've got fans and the inflator and lights and all kinds of stuff. But get yourself some of these. I'll leave a link down in the description to a whole bunch of these, so you can pick and choose and grab ones that you want. So the next thing that we have to do is you have to lower the seat, and to do that you have to get in behind it and flip this little lever. When it's up, this thing's locked. Okay, so it's locked there. On this side, there's this little lever. You get to that, and you push it up, and it will unlock this, so you can drop the driver's side down. Then we have to get back here, and there's 18mm nut there, and there's one underneath the subwoofer right there, and then there's another one over there, and another one over there, and we've got to get all those out. So this is the factory subwoofer, and you have to take it out to access, well, you don't have to take it out, but it's easier to just pop it out of the way to access this bolt down here. And the reason you have to access this bolt down here is because it's attached to the other end of this seat belt, and it goes around and through the seat. So we got to get that out of the way. So you unplug it, you pop this little Christmas tree out from right there, unplug the subwoofer, and then there's a 13 millimeter nut there, a 13 millimeter nut on that side, and a 13 millimeter bolt right up in here. And then the subwoofer comes out. So now you can get access to that 18 millimeter nut. Okay, so I got this nut off. There's an electrical connector here that you have to disconnect. Don't do anything with this. You got to put this back in. Otherwise, you're going to have your airbag light's going to be on because the seat belts aren't going to be telling the computer that they're connected back here. And there's another one over there for the other seat belts, but we got to put this back in after we get it out. So then you lift up on that, and then we got to feed it through the seat. There's the hole right there, and we're going to shove it back through the seat and pull it out the other side. And then out here, we're just going to pull it out of the seat. And we'll pick it up and put it behind the seat again. And then we'll just bolt it out of the way. I'm going to put it kind of angling that way because, like I said, I'm going to have a bed in here. It probably won't matter. Alright, I'll just put it back in normal, I guess. And I plug her back in. And we're good. Now we got to go to the other side. Take that back. While we're on the driver's side, we might as well take the electrical connector out of here. This electrical connector is for the heated seats. So, little tab there, push down. All right, there it is. So you just pull that. Then there's one little push pin there that's in that hole right there. You just pop that out, and this wire harness is going to go back here. It's going to actually get tucked underneath the carpet when I'm done. Now on this side, on the passenger side, there are two electrical connectors. One here, one there, and these are attached to the two seatbelt buckles that are right here in the center, and we're going to take those out after we get the seat out of here and put them tucked under here and plug them back in, and then everything will be okie dokie. Now in order to make this whole thing a little bit easier to deal with, we can separate this piece from this piece, and there is a 15 millimeter nut right there you take apart, and then these two will separate, and you can take this seat out in two different pieces. And there is a wire harness that is connecting the two seats together, and that's again for the heated seats. So you pop this connector out of the tube. It's got the little Christmas tree like thing, and then that harness comes over here to another Christmas tree type thing. You just get some needle nose. If you don't have a trim tool, then you get some needle nose underneath it and pop it out, and then you just pull this harness through this hole. Again, can't do it with one hand, but you pull it through this hole, and then you can take this seat out. And then the last thing you have to do is right here, there's a 13 millimeter bolt. Take that out. Now that bolt is attached to the seat belt, and it's captured, so it stays right with it. So then what I do is I put it back here, and then I put it up here, and I use gaff tape to tape it so it doesn't sit back here and just rattle all the time. I take it, I flip it up, I put it up at the top, basically hook it to itself, and then I gaff tape that together so it doesn't rattle. And the jack will be coming out also, along with the bracket that mounts it, because I won't be using it. I carry a larger bottle jack with a built-in jack stand, so in my toolbox, so I don't carry this with me, so it'll just be going up on the shelf. So now with the seat out, you can see the seatbelt buckle here, and there's a wire coming out, and the seatbelt buckle itself is held on by this Torx right there. That is a, let me see what that is. A T50 Torx. And it's attached to that plug. And then there's a plug back there. So we're gonna take out this bolt. Then we're gonna unclip this harness. Unclip that harness. And then we've got to pop these two things out. So hang on. All right, so now I have that out, and I just popped those two Christmas tree things out. And now on the seat that's still left in, it's the big one on the driver's side. Here's the other seat belt, same bolt. So we'll get in there. Then we've got a clip right here that just holds it on. And then you have the other buckle. So what you got to do, I don't know if I can do this single-handedly. You got to plug this one into this, back where it was. And then you plug this back into the vehicle harness down here. Let's see, it goes that way. Well, you got to plug that into there. You get the idea. I can't do it one-handed. I'm trying. What? Oh, oh. Ha! Skills. And then again, these will get gaff taped together, put up there out of the way, so nothing happens to them. While I'm here, if you've never seen your power inverter, it's under this. That's what the power inverter looks like. That's what's giving you your 110 volts up in the front and in the back seat. Now, so I don't lose any of these bolts or nuts and stuff, I put them back in their holes. Stick them back in, and I snug them down, and that's where they stay until I put the seat back in when I need to put it in for my family. And there's the finished product. I took my floor mats out. I know you're gonna say I should have left them in because, you know, you could spill coffee or you can spill pop or water or whatever, or getting in and out, it'll protect the seats, blah, blah, blah. I'm not worried about that. The bed is gonna go all the way up to here, right across the back, and I'm also got the plastic floor liners for the front and the rear coming for the truck. Should be hopefully here this week. I forgot to mention the subwoofer. You're gonna have to figure out what you want to do when you're building a bed back here if you're gonna do this. You can leave the subwoofer there and just build around it, or you can disconnect the subwoofer and put it underneath the bed so that you can run the bed all the way back to the wall. I haven't decided what I'm gonna do yet. I have to see what's gonna fit and what's not gonna fit. So we'll see how it fits in there. Hopefully it can just stay where it's at and then I don't have to worry about it. And we have no airbag light. Ignore the tire pressure warning thing. I know that. It got cold, went down 2 PSI and turned the light on. But no airbag light, everything's good to go. So that's that. So it's not a difficult process. And once you've done it once, you can put it in and out in probably maybe 15 minutes total. I pop it back in whenever I need to put people back in here. But, I mean, it does take a little bit of time to get the bed out and all the crap that I got back here out of here too. But you can just delete it and not have an airbag issue. So hopefully this helps. If it did, leave a thumbs up down there. And if you like this kind of content, then subscribe to the channel. And as always, get out there and find your own path.